Welcome to A Course in Miracles Workbook for Students, Lesson 327. I need but call and you will answer me. I am not asked to take salvation on the basis of an unsupported faith. I'm going to pause here and say, wow. What a statement. I am not asked to take salvation on the basis of an unsupported faith. A Course in Miracles doesn't ask for blind faith. It does ask for a willingness to understand things that we haven't understood previously. For God has promised he will hear my call and answer me himself. Let me but learn from my experience that this is true, and faith in him must surely come to me. This is the faith that will endure and take me farther and still farther on the road that leads to him. For thus I will be sure that he has not abandoned me and loves me still, awaiting but my call to give me all the help I need to come to him. Father, I thank you that your promises will never fail in my experience if I but test them out. Let me attempt, therefore, to try them and to judge them not. Your word is one with you. You give the means whereby conviction comes, and surety of your abiding love is gained at last. This is a really beautiful lesson. What comes to my mind when I read this is the many times that my prayers were answered in an unexpected form. I need but call and you will answer me. But my human mind and my ego rejected the answer because it came packaged in ugly wrapping paper. Here's an example. I was talking to my friend Amanda and I was telling her how everything that happens in your life is a gift. Everything. God only gives good gifts. And she listened and was respectful, but I could tell she was kind of like, yeah, I really don't think so. That's all right. And she called me a while later after we had kind of discussed this, shared thoughts on this, and she shared an experience with me where she was riding the bus and some rowdy teenagers got on. And they were throwing things at each other, and one of them threw something that hit her in the face. And she picked up the trash they threw and she put it in her purse because she's just a very conscientious person and didn't want to leave trash behind, but she felt upset and jarred. It was a jarring experience. And she thought, how is this a gift? Someone just pelted me in the face. That thought entered her mind, like, this is not a gift. And then she got home to her apartment and she realized in a state of panic that she didn't have tape and she needed tape because she had just gotten a call from her mother saying, this was around Christmas time, and her mother said, hey, I'm gonna be right there to pick up the gifts. And I don't have a lot of time, so please just have them ready to go. And my friend, her heart just sunk because they had this special Christmas at the family cabin planned, and the mother had agreed to come pick up the gifts that Amanda had agreed to wrap, that were gonna be under the tree and just everything looking picture perfect when the families arrived and the kids came. And Amanda kind of has had this feeling in the past of being the black sheep, and she's the one that messes things up, and oh, my mom's gonna be so upset. And she was upset with herself because she looked at the clock and she had the wrapping paper and she had the gifts, but she did not have any time to go to the store and get the tape. And as she was beating herself up, she had a feeling to look into her purse. So she just looked into her purse and she looked through it a little bit, and she realized that the piece of trash that the teenagers had thrown at her was an old roll of tape. Some, half used, but still in good shape, transparent tape. So she started wrapping the gifts, and she said, remarkably enough, it was the exact amount she needed to wrap every gift. And then her mother came. She answered the door, and there she was with all of the wrapped gifts ready to go. And she shared that story with me to say, I'm starting to wonder, starting to question if maybe everything is a gift if you look closely. And of course, there are horrific, sad, awful things that happen in some people's lives that it would just take an absolute miracle to see the gift in some of the apparently horrific experiences that we sometimes go through as humans. And yet, even in the darkest most horrific experience, there is a gift. And sometimes that gift is as simple as the compassion that suffering, that pain teaches us. Some of the most remarkable and amazing and wonderful and marvelous human beings that I know have suffered greatly. And their indomitable nature was forged in suffering. And that is not to excuse or condone harmful behavior from anyone ever. And yet everything can be used for our good if we allow it. We can grow through what we go through. And even the most horrific and frightening circumstances. I need but call and you will answer me. Father, I thank you that your promises will never fail in my experience if I but test them out. So moving forward, starting right now, right here, right now, let's put this to the test. I need but call and you will answer me. He has not abandoned me and loves me still, awaiting but my call to give me all the help I need to come to him. Let us not reject gifts that are wrapped in burlap when we wish that they were wrapped in silk. Because sometimes the most hideously wrapped gift has the most precious and valuable treasure within. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you tomorrow for lesson 328.